Thank you, Chris. Let's start with this lovely little film. Did you enjoy that? I love it. It's not quite what you'd expect to see from a property company. There's not a building or a hard hat in sight, but it does capture quite well what we're about and what we think. Our business purpose is to support the commercialisation of research and technologies. We are people who help to bring great ideas to life. If that sounds a bit high-flown and idealistic, it's probably because it is. We do what we do, and we love it because it's both hugely interesting and also important. But since we now have, as Chris so eloquently explained, upwards of 2 million square feet of space to fill with interesting, sustainable businesses, it's also rather good to know that what we do makes sound commercial sense as well. There are 3 reasons why what we do makes commercial sense. The first, as you can see on this slide, is that we're operating in the sectors which are spearheading economic growth, both regionally and nationally. As you can see from the examples on this slide, the technology and science, life sciences sectors, for example, have been both growing fast but are forecast to add substantially to GVA in the region over the next decade. The second reason is that our shareholders, who are generating so much of the knowledge and ideas that are both priming the formation of new businesses and feeding the growth of existing businesses, these are our shareholders. We derive our inspiration and our knowledge and our priorities from them. As Nancy has said, our university partners are driving employment growth both directly and indirectly. And you can see from some of the logos at the bottom of this slide, there is a powerful array of industry partnerships that the university is building upon. The third reason is that our culture and our values fit so very well with what today's innovation-driven businesses are looking for from the places they locate. Yep, we do all the things you'd expect from a property partner, or at least one owned by Bruntwood. Flexible space at every scale, well-run, cost-effective, responding to changing occupier needs. We're good entrepreneurs, and we think we're pretty good developers, quick to spot opportunities and quick to realise them as well. But that's not actually the core of the MSP business model. We're attractive to our customers, and we're competitive in our market because we add value to them. We use our commercial skills and our networks to fill gaps in and to leverage their own skills and their own networks. We do this by spending serious time within the sectors that we serve. We work hard to earn the right to act as translators and boundary spanners. We understand our businesses' language and their visions, but we also know what language and skills are needed to translate these into saleable propositions. Why is that important? Why is it even needed? The road from invention to adoption, from idea to marketplace, is full of potholes. Or to use my own analogy, which is sort of conveyed on there, it's a bit like a game of snakes and ladders. The challenges for early stage businesses are considerable, especially those which are outside the innovator's own sphere or specialist knowledge. Startups don't make money for themselves or anybody else. Core business skills are often weak. Access to capital is fraught and time-consuming. For successful SMEs, the opportunity for accelerated scale-up poses another set of challenges. Right now, the UK is not in the top league of innovative and entrepreneurial economies. Not yet, but we could be. On the Manchester corridor, we have a well-established innovation district, and we have the ingredients to propel an already successful performance to a globally leading performance. This is the key driver and the key opportunity for us. It's always good to look at what the rest of the world is doing. I love this slide and this statistic. 75% of the US GDP is generated by 100 metropolitan districts. It's a Bruce Catt statistic, which he uses to support his eloquent and very inspiring view of the role of cities in modern economies. Bruce spent some time with us recently in Manchester, and he believes that Corridor Manchester, I think Chris has said this already, but we love it, so I'll say it again, that Corridor Manchester has got the potential to be in the top 5 innovation ecosystems in Europe. Innovation ecosystems, what does this mean? It means that innovators have got access to the knowledge, the facilities, the skills, the leaders, the finance, the supply chains, the markets, that they've got access to all of the things that they need when they need them to shorten that perilous journey from invention to adoption. Interestingly, even in today's ubiquitously connected world, physical proximity is still important. I spent some time this year, for the first time actually, in Boston, which is rightly celebrated as a city where innovation and entrepreneurship are nurtured and celebrated. I talked to lawyers. This is Kendall Square, for those of you who don't know it. Actually, it says it's Kendall Square, sorry. I talked to lawyers, academics, clinicians, technologists, entrepreneurs, and the messages were incredibly consistent. Innovation, colleagues, is a contact sport. 5 minutes away is cool, 10 minutes is okay, half an hour is just too far to support the appetite for conversation, availability of colleagues, and the confidence to share technology and talent. There's an awful lot in Boston that resonates with Mancunians and our own culture. Coming back to where I started, our business model equips us well to be part of the team that creates something special in Manchester. And I'd like to just give you a few practical examples of what we do. Compared to the best, Manchester does not generate enough startup businesses. So we have incubators. We have 2 of them. This is the MedTech Centre, which sits on the corridor. We have another 86,000 square feet incubator at Alderley Park as well. We're also linked into the incubators of our university partners, long established at both universities on the corridor. They don't make us any money, but they feed a supply of customers for spaces which do. These incubators are important, but actually, for success for the businesses that take space in them is absolutely dependent on their integration into the rest of the ecosystem, which supports them beyond the integrator on that next crucial step to viability. We don't yet have enough serial entrepreneurs or VCs in our region. Our early work to help address this gap included support for the creation of a new Business Angels Investor Network and the very successful £2 million Corridor Growth Fund. We worked alongside our businesses to ensure that when they applied to this fund and had to deal with the inevitable public accountability red tape that goes with it, that they were successful. Let's hear what one of those businesses has to say about our role in their journey.
Elusogene Diagnostics develops and manufactures validated genetic testing kits. MSP has been very important for us. When we established the company, there was just 2 of us. We had very little infrastructure. We've been able to expand as required without taking on more space than we actually needed at the time. We chose City Labs because it allowed us to have a facility which was designed and built to our specific requirements. It not only suits us at the present time, but we've also built in scalability into the plans. And so we intend to be here for some time. MSP have also helped us in securing external funding to help us grow the company. The benefits of being part of MSP community are that it is flexibility of approach, and it's very much a collaborative venture. As we have grown, MSP have been involved in all stages of our growth plans and have been very helpful to us.
I can't tell you how good it felt to be shown round that beautiful new space by a business that a few years earlier had operated out of a windowless room in Greenhouse, with a couple of scientists and a desk. There's more to do. Having cut our teeth on the £2 million Corridor Growth Fund, we then worked with the Greater Manchester and Cheshire East LEPs on a successful bid for a much larger fund. 20 million of public monies toward a life sciences investment fund that's already attracted another 20 million of private sector match, including direct investment from Bruntwood MSP. This fund will play an important role in attracting bigger SMEs to the 1 million square feet bioscience campus at Alderley Park, and it will help to galvanise and to leverage the number of serial entrepreneurs and investors in the region. As I've said, this is a very different way of working and of spending our time. It's the antithesis of a general one-size-fits-all approach to business support, and it's not about doing everything ourselves. We're intelligent brokers, facilitators, enablers, connected to the complex web of stakeholders and trusted supplier, and it's the collectivity of all of that which makes the whole thing work. The benefits to us, commercially, were quickly clear in our first year with MSP. We filled a 20% void in record time. Our networks supply our pipeline of customers. High growth businesses scale up quickly. Our occupiers, as you've seen, are our advocates. And because of our reputation, new opportunities seek us out. This is a very scalable model for us. Our sectors are highly networked, both nationally and internationally, and a lot of information is exchanged that way. It's not a quick burn, of course, but you know, there's something awful satisfying about having finally landed a pre-let when you've stayed the course with them as they've worked to secure their Series B funding, presented to their investors on how our business support services will help to offset risks, and then celebrated with other occupiers who see their new neighbour as either a potential business partner or just an interesting new business next door. That's the world that we live in. And you know, it's probably not that much slower or more perilous than waiting for the market to buy your vision for that swanky new master plan. Thank you. I'll stop there.